We all have that one deck we love to play, but sometimes it just can't keep up anymore. In this series, we break down what's working, what's holding the deck back, and where smart upgrades can make the biggest difference. We're focusing on consistency, power, and matchups in the current meta. No rebuilding from scratch, just clean, efficient improvements. Let's tune this deck and see how far it can really go. Welcome to Deck Tuning.
What's up, guys? My name is TechnoTuner, and today I'm bringing to you another deck teching episode where we're going to be taking a look at an older deck. I've been playing a lot more Edison, having a lot more fun with older decks, but I wanted to take a look today specifically at Counter Fairy. This deck has been a formidable thing in the past and still can be for a rogue option today. This deck is a lot of fun for those people that like to set up a lot of interaction for their opponent and basically say no. This deck has a lot of options from being able to not having to pay life points, getting card draw, uh, basically destroying cards, interacting, making your opponent discard a card, and negating summons. From basic interactions such as Drastic Drop Off to Iron Thunder, which basically makes you pay half your life points to negate and destroy a card, to Divine Punishment when a monster spell or trap effect is activated, negate the activation, destroy it, along with the Rebirth of Parshath. When a spell trap or monster effect is activated, reveal one counter trap in your hand, then discard one card, pay 1,000, negate the activation. If you do, shuffle that card into the deck, then special summon Parshath monster from your deck or extra deck. Do note that currently I don't have an extra deck for this deck, but the main thing I wanted to go over here was not really the extra deck per se, but was the functioning of the actual main deck. Because you have other options such as Synthetic Sephirim, where each time a counter trap is activated, you can special summon one Synthetic Seraphim token, Fairy Light, level 1, attack 300, defense 300, to your field, and that's not a once per turn. That can get you up to at least 3 to 4 monsters if you activate during your turn or your opponent's turn and basically set up plays for you to continue during your next turn to OTK. The other thing is if you have Black Horn of Heaven, when your opponent would special summon exactly one monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy it. So that can help out as well with Summon Negation along with Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike. The other cards that you're playing in most cases are Bountiful Artemis, where each time a counter trap is activated, you get to draw one card. Harvest Angel of Wisdom, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can target one counter trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So Graveyard Recursion. Metiel, Sage of the Sky. Each time a counter trap card is activated, immediately after this resolves, gain 1,000 life points. If you do, if Sanctuary Sky is on the field, you get to destroy an opponent's card. Then you have Minerva, the Scholar of the Sky. Each time a counter trap card is activated immediately after it resolves, this card gains 500 attack. And if you do, and if it does, and the Sanctuary Sky is on the field, add one counter trap with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. You also have Power Angel Valkyria, which basically makes it to where if you negate a spell or trap card or monster effect, you get to add a Light Fairy, which is basically any of the others. From your deck to your hand, you have Sacred Arch, Air Knight, Parshath, where if you activate a counter trap card or negate the activation of a spell or trap card or a monster effect, you can banish 2 other fairy monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard, special summon this card. And if it was there when you negated or from hand, if not, this card attacks defense position, inflict piercing battle damage. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add one Parshath card or counter trap from your deck to your hand. The other thing is with this deck, I'm also playing one Vandalgan, the Dark Dragon Lord. This was an 2012 Edison to 2012 kind of card that you would play. It was still fun to play and interact with because if you negate the activation of an opponent's spell, trap card, or monster's effect with a counter trap, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's a 2800 beater, but if summoned this way, activate these effects and resolve the sequence depending on the type of card that was negated by that counter trap. Spell, inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. Trap, target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. Monster, target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it. So it can give you extra bodies to the board as well, but also function as further ways to basically tell your opponent no, but also give you extra ways to work up the power level of your deck. The other things that we're playing are Sanctuary in the Sky, Sanctum of Parshath, which is the Sanctuary in the Sky while it's on the field or in the graveyard. Brave monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Set spells and traps cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, another player can target them with card effects. Once returned, you can target a total of 3 fairy monsters and or counter traps with different names in your graveyard. Place them on top of your deck in any order. So this can help as well with getting some deck recycling, getting your counter traps back into the deck, and basically helping you get more prep for your opponent so you have further things and further ways to shut down your opponent from playing the game. So while taking a look at this deck overall, it is very trap heavy and trap eccentric, but you're using a lot of cards to basically build up that. Now there is a pendulum version of Bountiful Artemis where basically it makes it to where you don't have to pay life points to activate counter trap cards, which can help out greatly by keeping your life points safe and up at a high level, but also giving you that access to be like, okay, hey, I'm just going to do this and get me another level 4 body. Overall, this deck, to be brought up to the current meta or playable in Genesis, can do a lot of different things, and I would recommend a few other things as well, because this is more of a Genesis build anyways. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into our next 2 other decks for this deck teching episode, and I'll show you what I mean. So, for Counter Fairy, I tried incorporating the Ancient Fairy deck into this because you are playing with Light Beasts, Light Fairies, and Light Plants, which can give you a decent synchro package that can allow you to go into level 8s, level 7s, etc. for further recursion or interaction. Now, the one thing is you are playing a lot more monsters, so that makes it harder to get to your counter traps. In this case, you're playing 20 monsters, not including hand traps, just to be able to get to the tuners, to be able to turn your monsters into further interaction for synchro plays, such as you're playing 2 Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, a Bat the Forest Ninja, a Karibon, along with 1 Spore the Fairy Seed, and 3 Regulus the Fairy Beast, because Regulus is basically a searcher for any light level 4 fairy, which can help you extend your plays or get further plays going for next turn, such as Power Angel Valkyria, Bountiful Artemis, Mitiel, Sage of the Sky, or Minerva, Scholar of the Sky, can give you extra plays as well. The other thing is Bat the Forest Ninja is a free special summon if you have a face-up card in your field zone, such as Sanctuary in the Sky. Giving Valhalla of Hall of the Fallen gives you an extra body if you control no monsters, so you can special summon one of your fairies, then normal summon Regulus to get an extra body for next turn, or just being able to further incorporate other things such as Sacred Arch Air Knife Parshath to be special summoned off of Valhalla, so you have that bigger body to basically put up some more damage. The counter traps are basically the same. The only difference is we're running 2 Dark Bribe as well, because when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, your opponent draws a card, but you also negate the spell and trap activation. The other thing I will note is that you're playing a lot of level 8 synchro, such as Avenging Knight Parshath. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster opponent controls, change that target's battle position. This card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. You also have Angel of Zera. You have Ancient Fairy Life Dragon, where if this card is synchro summon, you can draw 1 card, or if World of Spirits is on the field, add 1 light monster, beast, plant, or fairy, or 1 Eternal Sunshine from your deck to your hand. You can also only use this effect of Ancient Fairy Life Dragon once per turn. Your Ancient Fairy Dragon and monsters that mention it can attack while in face-up defense position and apply their defense for damage calculation. So basically you have a 3300 defender that can do damage. You have a 3k defender and Ancient Fairy Dragon as well, to where you can skip your own battle phase, but you get an additional summon of a level 4 monster, which could get you Bountiful Artemis or Minerva or whatever, which can further help your plays as well. You also have ways of locking your opponent out from playing through Crimson Blader, being able to prevent them from no more special summoning level 5 or higher monsters during their next turn. You have Draco Berserker the Tenyi to basically get a banish. You have Enigmaster Packbit to play something in the back row. Enlightenment Paladin to inflict more burn damage. And Stardust Dragon as further protection. Either way, this deck offers up a lot more capability for the deck overall as well. One other card I do want to take a look at here that will explain a little bit more is World of Spirits. When this card is activated, you can add 1 monster that mentions Ancient Fairy Dragon from your deck to your hand. You can only activate one of the following effects while you control a level 7 or higher Light Dragon Synchro monster. Each time a monster is special summoned in attack position, change it to defense position. Once per turn during the end phase, destroy all attack position monsters on the turn player's field. So a functioning field negate as well, which can really hurt your opponent as well if they're trying to go in for more damage, because you're setting everything to defense. But by playing the counter chops, you're basically giving your deck extra protection to protect your Ancient Fairy Dragon or your Angels, so you can basically go in for a more powerful swing the next turn, or basically setting up for recursion to where you basically recycle back your counter traps and keep playing and preventing your opponent from really doing much. This deck has a lot more capability to further expand upon and gives you a bit more options in what you're looking for. That's all I have for this one. Let's go ahead and hop right into our next deck. All right, for our final deck that I wanted to bring up today, it is Counter Fairy Agents. This basically allows you to go into different other options with the Counter Fairy strategy, but also gives you a small agent package to allow you to go into higher level synchros, but also it works well since you're playing Sanctuary in the Sky, because the Agent of Mystery Earth, you get to add one agent monster from your deck to your hand, except that, or Sanctuary in the Sky, if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you get to add one Master Hyperion from your deck to your hand. So it basically gives you access to Master Hyperion, but you also have the option of the Agent of Life Neptune. You can discard this card, special summon agent monster from your hand or graveyard, except Agent of Life Neptune. Or if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in the graveyard, you can special summon Hyperion monster instead. Neither player can tribute a monster summoned with this effect until the end of your opponent's turn. If this card is banished, you can add one Sanctuary in the Sky from your deck to your hand, and you can only use each effect of Agent Life of Neptune once per turn. So being able to get us into our Majesty Hyperion by banishing one agent monster from your hand, field, or graveyard, you can only special summon Majesty Hyperion once per turn this way. Any battle damage you take involving your fairy monsters is also inflicted to your opponent once per turn. You can banish one fairy monster from your hand or graveyard, then target one card in either graveyard and banish it. If the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in either graveyard, you can use this effect up to twice per turn. So basically giving you access to battle damage, inflicting that to your opponent as much as you take, but also inflicting further issues for your opponent by banishing cards as well in either player's graveyard. The other one is Master Hyperion. This is an old card that was really fun to play in the day. You can special summon this card by banishing one agent monster from your hand, field, or graveyard. Once per turn, you can banish one light fairy monster from your graveyard, target one card in the field, destroy it. While Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can activate this effect up to twice per turn, so basically giving you 2 pops instead of 1. And then you can use Majesty Hyperion to get the banish effect. The other thing is you're still playing the Sacred Arch Aeronith Parshath, which can help out greatly as well because you're banishing a fairy, so giving you an additional 2800 attack boost. But you have other options since you're playing level 2 tuners to allow you to go into your level 6s, your level 5s, such as the Executor of Underworld, Pluto. Once per turn, you can banish one monster from your graveyard, target one effect monster on the field, change it to face down defense position. This is a quick effect if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field or in either graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one Sanctuary Sky from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect of Executor the Underworld of Pluto once per turn. The other thing is it gives us access to go into Stardust Charge Warrior. And I know you guys are like, how do you go into your level 5? You only have 2s and 4s. Well, you have Butin. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one face-up level 4 or lower fairy-type monster you control. It is treated as a tuner monster while face-up on the field. This is if you ever get Butin on the board or need to change Agent of Life Neptune to a tuner. So that'll get you access to Executor the Executor of the Underworld Pluto. The other cards that you can play are Stardust Charge Warrior for extra card draw, Master Flare Hyperion, which is 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner fairy monster. You can send the agent monster or one monster that mentions the Sanctuary in the Sky from your hand, deck, or extra deck to the graveyard. Until the end phase, this card's name becomes that monster's original name, and replace this effect with that monster's effects. When your opponent activates a card or quick effect, you can banish one fairy monster from your hand or graveyard, target one card on the field, and banish it. You can only use each effect of Master Flare Hyperion once per turn. So giving you further interaction with your opponent, because you can change it into Master Flare Hyperion, into Majesty Hyperion, or Master Hyperion for either the banish or the pop as another option. The other thing that you could do is go into Fabled Leviathan. One tuner plus one or more non-tuners once per turn during the main phase. You can tribute any number of Fable monsters you control, which would be him. Take control of that many monsters, but their effects are negated. If this card's in your graveyard, you can target one other Fable card in your graveyard, return this card to the extract. If you do, add that target to your hand. Once again, you can play a small Fable package if you really want to, but we're going to be using Daigusto Emerald to shuffle back cards that we really want, such as monsters, back into our deck or extra decks, such as Master Flare Hyperion or Leviathan, to give us further access. We are still playing the Lightning package, which is Utopia and Utopia the Lightning, in case we need to get over something big. But we also are able to run Bestial Dispatcher with this option as well, because we can go into Coral Dragon or Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, or we can go into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, because we can revive back the Agent of Mystery Earth off of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon to go into our Bestial Dissipator with it and the Excel Synchro Stardust. So that gives us another negate and interaction for a boss monster. Crystal Wing we can do pretty easily with Stardust Charge Warrior and another level 2. But we have other options as well that can help us get there pretty easily. This deck has a lot of further capability of being able to get your negates going, but also being able to shuffle back those cards as well, from being able to use Daigusto Emerald effect, or being able to shuffle back the cards you need for the Sanctuary of Parshath, which can help you shuffle them back in as well. So between the counter trap option and the summon or the synchro agent package, you have a lot of good access to a lot of different things. And this is a deck that will give you a lot of access, especially in Genesis for lower events, to basically make it harder for your opponent to interact. While this is below the 50-point line, you can further improve this by incorporating any kind of cards you would like as well, as long as it doesn't go above the 100 points. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.